Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to URKG. This is your latest Real Madrid news and transfer news. Madrid fans, we thought the transfer window might be over, but apparently not so fast, because there are now reports that Real Madrid could still make 3 more signings before the transfer window closes. Look, that's crazy. That's crazy. We're talking about a center back. We're talking about another midfield and potentially 1 more addition as well. And suddenly, Alessandro Bastoni is back in the conversation. Adam Wharton, Kees, Smit, and are being monitored by Real Madrid. We discussed that yesterday. We're going to talk about that, though. We also going to cover that today in this show. And Mourinho reportedly wants Bernardo Silva and another midfielder. Who is that other midfielder? We have not found the second midfielder that José Mourinho wanted. We'll discuss that. We also have an update regards to Tchouaméni. We'll talk about that, and Raúl Asencio as well. So a lot to get into, chat. A lot to get into. And of course, the attack, Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappé, Diomande. It's about to become one of the most dangerous attack in Europe. We're gonna discuss that. We are going to discuss that. But as always, big up to every single one of you. Smash a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel. If you are new to the channel, get your comments in, get your votes in, and get your votes in the poll. What should Real Madrid prioritize next year? I mean, next signing. And I see Bastoni. How many people I say Bastoni? Adam Wharton, Kenneth Smith, and Sell first. We're going to discuss that, right? We are going to discuss that. But the first thing is first, of course, 3 more signings. This, as soon as I saw it, chat, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, this cannot be true. It's coming from Madrid Universal. And apparently, let me just put this up. Wait, that's not this one. All right, it's right here. I think it's right here. I think we got it. I think we have it. So, according to Madrid Universal, they're saying that Real Madrid have 3 more signings planned after a busy transfer window. Look, am I actually going to believe that Madrid is going to make 3 signings? Probably not. I'll be honest with you. Probably not. Probably not. According to Rodriguez, Real Madrid are preparing for 3 additional signings, and this would be signings beyond, the business Madrid have already completed. We're talking about we made 6 signings already, and they're talking about we're gonna make 3 more signings. That is crazy. That is crazy. Of course, one of them is a center back, and the other one is in the expected midfielder position. Look, after I look at this, my initial reaction is that we were hearing that Madrid considered the summer completely done, completely finished. But then we hear another rumor saying that Real Madrid's transfer window is wide open, right? It says here, right here. It says right here, it's wide open. According to Cope, it says Real Madrid's transfer window is not done. It is not done. It's not completely done. It tells me that Madrid probably are not desperate, but they're not going to say, yo, we're desperate. We need to sign players right now. We need to sign Zubimendi. We need to sign this guy. No, that's not what we're saying. But at the same time, the transfer window is not closed by Real Madrid. It's not cold. And potentially, I'm talking about possibly signing another center midfield, another attacker, or a squad depth signing, or a young player Madrid believe, too good to miss on an opportunity. We're going to discuss those. We're going to discuss those. But big up to every single one of you. CR7, Daira, PK, AR as well. Iraq's, Cristiano, Rashid. Big up to all of you. Big up to all of you. But I want to focus on Bastoni and the Raúl Asencio conversation, right? This is it. I mean, according to Ben Fair, this just came out today as well. Madrid are still looking at selling Raúl Asencio. They're working on his departure. That tells you everything you need to know. Mourinho wanted a left-footed center back. And that guy is Bastoni, okay? That guy is this guy right here. Mourinho wants Bastoni. Specifically wanted a left-footed center back. And Alessandro Bastoni remains one of the most strong names. Every day we're hearing about Bastoni this, Bastoni that. He gives Madrid something different, right? He's naturally left-footed. It's gonna give us balance in that defense department. And he's comfortable, progressing the ball. He's experienced at the highest level. He can play aggressively, also helping out, build, organize the back four as well. So he's got experience. Serie A, Serie A defenders most likely, they are good at defending. So How many people saying we need to keep Asencio? For me, Asencio had to go. I mean, most of you guys here should know by now my stand. Like, I never really trusted Asencio. I've been saying Asencio has to go. I've been saying Asencio is not really good enough to be playing for Real Madrid. Maybe we need to loan him out. Maybe insert the buyback clause somehow and loan him out. But I don't feel like we need to stick with Asencio. Asencio has to leave. I know he picked up an injury. Because of his injury, now Madrid cannot go full out to sign somebody like Bastoni. That's why we're struggling. But Bastoni, we know, is a quality center back, and naturally left-footed center back. Passing angles, building up play, you know, ability to play through presses, distribution, defensive balance. He gives us all of that. But the Asencio issue is really bothering me, because if he can't leave, if he stays in the team, there's no chance Real Madrid is signing another center back. Forget about it. We're not signing another center back. And how many people are saying Asencio out right now? Say yes. Say yes. I mean, look. Keep an eye on Bastoni, says Zuha. Loan out Asencio. CR7 says Asencio. Christian says keep Asencio. Only one person is saying keep. CR7 says loan him out, loan him out, loan him out. Everybody's saying, yo, like every single person, probably 90% of the chat is thinking that Asencio has to leave. He's got to leave. Of course, I would say keep him only if we're not signing Bastoni. If we're not signing Bastoni, if we're not signing another center back, then it makes sense. It makes absolute sense to keep Asencio. But at this moment in time, when we know Militao's injury prone, when we know Rudiger's getting old, when we know Dean Howson could also, you know, get injured or make a lot of mistakes, he's still young. Kanate is a suspect, one of the worst defenders in the Premier League last season, right? And Liverpool. So you consider all of that. We don't really have options in that center back that we can say, yo, this center back and this center back is going to play the next 30 games. This center back and this center back are going to be fit. Back to back to back to back. There is none. There is none. Is there a center back that we can actually rely on? I went through the list. Militao, no, you can't rely on this dude. Rudiger, you could say maybe you could rely on Rudiger, but he's really getting old. He only got like 1 year or 2 years extension, and it's about time. He's on the decline now. He's already peaked, right? He's already peaked. Rudiger has peaked already. So you look at Dean Howson. Is that the guy we're going to rely on in big games? I don't know. I'm not sure. You guys let me know if you think that way, but I'm not sure he's going to be that guy. So all across the board, I'm looking at our back four. Yes, the full back positions are solid, but the center back position concerns me a lot. It concerns me a lot. And this guy, Asencio, he can't even stay fit, and he's getting injured. He probably got injured because he doesn't want to go. That could be one of the reasons. But would you sell Asencio if it means bringing Bastoni in, get your competent? I feel like that's what needs to happen. Bastoni, we are desperate. I mean, we are absolutely desperate for Bastoni to come. We are absolutely desperate for Bastoni to come. PK says, sign Bastoni and Zubimendi. Who's that? Who's that? Zurai edits, who's that? Sell Militao, loan out Rudiger, keep Asencio and sign Bastoni. Look, you can't sell Militao. Militao can't stay fit. And I don't want to sell Militao, by the way. Militao is one of the best center backs. He is one of the best center backs. Let's not get it twisted. If Militao stays fit, we know 100% this guy is a solid center back, okay? The only problem is Militao can't stay fit. That's the only concern we have. If this dude stays fit, 100%, bro. 100%. He's one of the best center backs in the game. He's one of the best center backs in the game. There's no debate about that. There is no debate about that. KG, why do you wish bad injury on Asencio? I never wished an injury on Asencio. I'm actually mad the fact that he's injured. Because the fact that he's injured now, we can't move him on. We can't get a loan deal. We can't sell him right now, which means Madrid is stuck with Asencio and Kanate and all these guys, and we can't bring in another center back. That's the problem we have. That's the problem that we have. Sign the experienced Chelsea player, Tossin. Again, we have to make rooms, right? People need to understand. We need to move out Asencio. If Asencio stays, there's not going to be enough position to be filling in another center back. That's what Madrid said, right? That's what Madrid said, right? it's saying that Real Madrid transfer window is not open, but at the same time, it's also not closed. You know what that means? This is the way I read it. It just means that Madrid is looking at the current players that we have. Who's going to leave? Who can we sell? Who can we loan out? How can we create a gap in the squad that we can bring in a new guy? That's what they're looking at. So they're not sure. They're not sure if they can go and sign another center back because they still got Asencio. They still got another players that needs to leave. So for me, Asencio has to leave. You can't terminate his contract because it's going to cost you money. That would be stupid. And I heard somebody saying in the comment sections yesterday or the day before, saying that, yo, why don't we just put Asencio back to the Castilla team? I mean, are you serious? Like, you put him in the Castilla team, you lose money. You're losing money. If you put in a player that you can generate money off of, put him back to Castilla to make a room in the squad, that would be the dumbest thing you would do, right? You want to get money out of him. You want to get some funds out of him. You can't just move him on, or you can't just rip off his contract. You would lose a lot of money. You would obviously lose a lot of money. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So that's the problem that we have right now. As soon as this deal happens, we're moving into Bastoni again, according to Rodriguez as well, right here. I can read this one for you guys as well. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but I could read this one as well. It says that Alessandro Bastoni is one of the defenders most closely associated with his plan, with José Mourinho's plan. The Italian is understood to be one of the manager's preferred target, although his arrival would depend on Raúl Asencio leaving Real Madrid first. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. If Asencio doesn't leave, nobody's coming. Okay? It's as simple as this. That's my problem. Like, if Asencio's not leaving, we're doomed. We are doomed. We're stuck with Asencio. We're stuck with Kanate. We're stuck with Militao. And we're stuck with Rudiger and Dean Howson. That would be the back four. I mean, that would be the center backs we're gonna have moving forward, and that really scares me, bro. That really scares me. KG, tell us on the update on the midfield. We're gonna talk about the midfield next. Now we're gonna talk about the midfield in a second. Mendy also was scamming the team at this point. Mendy's another one that, even though he's a left back, if we can sell Mendy somehow, you could generate money at the same time. You can generate a position in the squad that we can fill in a center back instead of another left back, because we have Cucurella, we have Carreras. We're good. We're good in the left back position. Even though I like Mendy, at the same time, Mendy's never fit. Mendy's never fit. So that is also another option. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to sell a center back to bring another center back in, okay? You could sell a left back and then bring a center back in. That could also work. As long as Florentino Perez and Real Madrid generate money from sales and also create a gap, create a position for another player to come in, right? That's what we want. That's what we want. But in regards to Asencio, this is the biggest problem, chat. This is the biggest problem. If he doesn't leave, forget about signing another defender. That's where we stand right now. According to the news, according to Madrid Universal, according to all the outlets, we covered this story, by the way. It's not the new story. We talked about this story before, but this is what we're running into, chat. This is what we have ended up with, and it's a big problem. It is a big problem, but we got to move on. Get your comments in. We got to move on to the midfield question and the midfield answer. There's a lot to discuss there. No lie, Brahim has to go. Brahim is in the midfield. Endrick would get a loan. We talked about Endrick yesterday. Amirov says he needs to be sold. Absolutely, absolutely. Asencio needs to go for his own development as well. New club, he can play regularly and become a top class. Facts, 100%. Mendy, Asencio, Brahim, Camavinga, Thiago. These players are useless as light. PK says sell Mendy and Asencio, bring in Bastoni, Zubimendi. Man, that would be the best. That would be the best transfer window in the history of Real Madrid. If we can get rid of a couple of players and bring in Bastoni and bring in Zubimendi or somebody like that, it would be an incredible transfer window. Prime says, are you from USA or Canada? USA. Very good move for Arsenal. Who? What do you mean by that? We should really just terminate Mendy's contract like we did with Ceballos. If Mendy can stay fit, you see, you got to understand something. If Mendy can stay fit, Mendy is one of the best left backs. I'm not deluded, bro. He locked up Olise against Bayern Munich. If you watch that game, if you watch the first leg, I think he locked up Olise, bro. Mendy is that good. The problem with Mendy is the same problem with Militao. He just can't stay fit. We wait 6 months, he comes back, he plays 2-3 decent games, we get excited, and then he gets injured again. And then the same cycle happens every single time. Year after year, the same situation with Militao. You miss him, and then he comes back, we say, yo, we got one of the best center back. He scores a goal, we jump, we get gassed, and then within a couple of weeks, he's injured again. So that's the problem that we have with Mendy. That is the problem that we have with Militao. Those two are the problems that we have. All right. Let's talk about the midfield situation. I want to speak about midfield situation. Of course, this one we sort of covered it right now. See, Real Madrid are still looking to sign a left-footed center back. I think we discussed enough. We know exactly who that is. They don't want to put names in, but we know exactly who that is. We know, everybody knows it's Bastoni. It is Bastoni. That's what we're trying to get, bro. That's what we're trying to get. As soon as we get that, we will be in a very, very, very good position. All right. Let's move on. We got a lot to cover, chat. If you're just joining in, make sure you smash that like. Let's get to 100. Here's the report now. Here's the report in regards to another midfielder. So according to El Largo, Mourinho has asked Bernardo Silva and another central midfielder. We spoke about that yesterday. It's very, very interesting because that would suggest that Mourinho doesn't necessarily see Bernardo Silva as the only midfield solution, right? He wants two completely different profiles. Bernardo Silva gives Madrid experience, ball retention, press resistance, creativity, intelligence between the lines, ability to play, centrally or wide, or leadership in possession. But Bernardo is not necessarily the long-term controller of Real Madrid, or will build around for the next 5 or 6 years. This is where players like Adam Wharton, right? The guy I spoke about, I think I spoke about him yesterday. We didn't really speak about him, but Adam Wharton, right? This is the guy I really, really, really like. We're going to talk about Adam Wharton. We're also going to speak about Kees Smit in a little bit, right? But Adam Wharton, what could he bring to Real Madrid? He's left-footed midfielder. He's excellent progressing and passing the ball. He's comfortable receiving under pressure. Again, all the attributes we discussed in the past show where Madrid need. We talked about Tchouaméni being that guy, but Adam Wharton could also be that guy. He could dictate the tempo as well. He's young enough to become, a long-term piece of the puzzle. The Premier League experience cannot be underestimated. Wharton feels like the type of player Madrid could definitely sign now. And also, he might need a little bit of development. But the question is this, right? How much is he going to cost? How much do you think Wharton is going to cost? I'm going to ask the chat. Right? Get involved right now and let me know how much Adam Wharton is going to cost. But apparently, the fees that are being discussed right now in regards to Adam Wharton, how much he costs. Of course, Manchester United are also monitoring the situation, but Madrid is also monitoring the situation. No way, says Andrew. Why no way? Give me your reason. Don't just say no way. Give your reason why. I think the signing of midfielder is better than Bastoni. Look, we're going to discuss that later on. Right? We covered the defense. We're going to talk about the midfield, and then we're going to ask which one is better, right? Or which one is a necessity. 80 plus. Random says 80 plus. TSRF says 75. Chelsea also interested. Roblox is absolutely right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think this is going to be very, very difficult. The competition to get Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace will be really difficult because Chelsea's looking at him. Manchester United are looking at him. These two teams are desperate to get another midfielder in. Especially Chelsea, they could lose Enzo Fernandez for Manchester City. So that means Chelsea will be desperate to go and get this dude. 10 to 15, you must be having a laugh. He must be having a laugh. I mean, just recently, and you wouldn't believe if I tell you this, right? These are the facts. In February 2024, Adam Wharton actually cost £18 million, which risen up to £22 million. It's crazy. Within a couple of years, the midfielder's value right now, his value right now is between 80 to 86 million pound. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And that concerns me. Is Real Madrid willing to spend that kind of money on a kid? He's what? He's 22. He's 22. How old is he? He's 22 years old. Okay? 22 years old. To be spending that kind of money, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's really, really ridiculous. People are saying 30. He's not 30. I did my research. Adam Wharton actually costs between 80 to 86. If he was 35, United would have signed him by now. Manchester United would have signed him by now. The reason why Manchester United is not paying the money is because the fee is ridiculous. The fee is 80 to 86. I mean, he's not Tchouaméni. Like, why am I paying? I like Adam Wharton, don't get me wrong. But why the hell are we paying close to 86 for him? And we're not willing to spend that money on Rodri. On Rodri, we spent only 60. I know Rodri is old and Adam Wharton is still young. He can develop. But again, if you're talking about winning right now, if you're talking about winning a trophy, challenging for everything right now, you don't even know if Adam Wharton is going to work or not at Real Madrid. You don't even know if he's going to handle the pressure wearing the Real Madrid jersey. You don't even know in front of Santiago Bernabéu, in front of all those crowds, how he's going to behave. So to be putting a lot of money on this dude is a massive mistake, I think. It is a massive, massive mistake. I'm going to get into the comment sections in a second. I feel it's a massive, massive mistake. Just get Tchouaméni. We talked about Tchouaméni yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check out the other show that we did yesterday. But I would definitely, look, would you take Adam Wharton or Tchouaméni? Get involved in the chat. Who would you pick? Get Tchouaméni and Bastoni. My final opinion, says PK. I'm absolutely with you. Craig says, KG, at this point, we get Rodri or Laudry. We need a midfielder and a center back. Bro, Craig, we've been saying this. We need a CDM and we need a center back. We just need to fill two positions in. But in order to do that, we need to sell a couple of players. One of them could become a winger to fill in the midfield position. And the other one is Asencio and Mendy, right? These are the two guys. They have to be sold as well. They've got to be sold. Otherwise, we cannot sign two players. We're not going to sign two players on top of the players that we have. Somebody has to leave. Somebody has to make a space. Neither of them, says Mighty. I mean, look, Mighty, you might be a Barcelona fan. That's why you're saying that. Pernod says Bastoni's great center back. We need him. Cucurella and Bastoni would be what a combination that would be. Just imagine this right now. Having Cucurella on the left, Bastoni there, and on the right, the fit Militao. And then the right back could be Trent or Dumfries. That will be an incredible back four. When you add Courtois to that back five will be insane. It will not be easy to beat. And then you go to the midfield. When you look at the midfield, if we can have somebody like Tchouaméni and Tchouaméni, nobody's going through that. In that number 10 role, you could use Bellingham, you could use Arregular, and then in the wide position, you can have Vini, Diomande, and Kylian Mbappé up front. Just think about that team. Of course, my option number one is Tchouaméni. If we can't get Tchouaméni, I'm looking at Adam Wharton. Again, his price range is what really bothers me right now. He's going to cost a lot of money. I think he's going to cost a lot of money. But let's move on. The other name that is just being mentioned right now is this dude right here. Kees, Smit. Smit represents another type of Madrid transfer, I would say. I mean, if we really are after him, yes, he's young, technically talented, high ceiling, of course, potentially, available before becoming a global star. Right now, he's not a star yet. He's decent. You can see he's a good player. You can see he's got a lot of potential. But I can give you the price range that he went through. Roughly, he would cost about 45 to 60 M's. So in terms of signing him, there's a better chance of signing him than signing Wharton, just because he's cheaper. But the problem is, he's only 20 years old. At least, Wharton is 22. He's a little bit more experienced. This kid is really, 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 really young. I mean, he's really, really young. And I can't imagine him being, a main player for Real Madrid. I mean, Alkmaar, he plays for Alkmaar. And yes, he's from the Netherlands and the Netherlands international team. Did he actually even play? He didn't really play. He had one appearance for the Netherlands as well. He had a lot of appearances, for Netherlands under 16, under 17, under 18, under 19, under 21. But for the main national team, he doesn't even have a lot of appearances. And for AZ, of course, he played 48 games, which is decent enough for his age, but only scored 3 goals. But my problem is signing players from the Dutch league. Sometimes you get gassed. Sometimes you think that these guys are going to be world beaters when you see them lighting up the Dutch league. Man like Anthony, there's a lot of players. He didn't even make the World Cup. Exactly. There's a lot of players that come from the Dutch league that look like they are world beaters. But as soon as they come to the Premier League, as soon as they join La Liga, they struggle. So this kid has got potential. It's not something I'm looking at right now. I wouldn't be looking at him right now. I would give it time. Maybe in the next 3 or 4 years, we could look at this guy as a potential. But for now, yes, people are trying to associate Real Madrid with Smit, but I don't see it happening. And would you spend money on established midfielder? Or would you spend money on him? Get involved in the chat. Cray says none of these players are bad. Some of them are just level or profile that we are required, but we could be a starter in other teams. VRX said, I shared this channel with my friends. Big up VRX. Love. Smit could be Real Madrid's Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe in the future. Andrew, maybe in the future, but not right now. We know exactly that's not going to be the case right now. This kid is not ready for Real Madrid. Absolutely fact. PK says, I've only seen Pedri or John never showing that kind of maturity at a young age at a midfield, maybe in recent years. Absolutely spot on. Do you think Mbappé should play left wing? We could discuss that later on. Let's keep the topic on him, and then we're going to move on. But hold that thought. Parnav, hold that thought. We could discuss it at the end of the show. We need experience. KG says light. Absolutely, I agree. Jude is back on Wednesday. Yep. He's doing a photo shoot now, so apparently he's not going to be, he's not coming back today. He's coming back tomorrow. The kid is not ready, says I. A lot of people are saying the kid is not ready. I haven't seen, I think we went over all the, we're going to lose El Clasico if we sign him. No. Look, even if we sign him, he's not going to be starting the El Clasico. I can tell you that much right now. There's no way he's going to be starting games. He's not that ready, bro. He is not that ready. But we got to move on. We have a lot to cover, chat. And there's a confirmation from Fabrizio Romano himself in regards to who? In regards to this guy right here. Man like Tchouaméni will stay at Real Madrid. He has already signed his new contract. He will be an important player for José Mourinho. So Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed that Tchouaméni ain't going nowhere. Manchester United fans, you're not getting Tchouaméni. Forget about it. I'm just saying. I like Manchester United too, but I'm just saying, United fans, they did a lot of show. They did a lot of live stream talking about Tchouaméni joining Real Madrid. A lot of Man United, fan channels have done that, including the big ones, the United Stands, and all these big ones talking about Tchouaméni could join Manchester United. He ain't joining Manchester United. I can tell you that much now. It's been confirmed. Fabrizio has confirmed it. Tchouaméni is not going anywhere. I mean, this matters, I think, because sometimes, when there's a lot of talks, it just unsettles a lot of people. But we know for sure. Think about it. Even if we signed Rodri, I don't think Tchouaméni would have been available for sale because Mourinho loves that kind of midfielder. Back in the days when Mourinho had Real Madrid, he had Khedira and Xavi Alonso, the two holding midfielders. One of them right-footed, one of them left-footed. Khedira is left-footed, right? Right now, if we had signed Rodri, I would still think that Tchouaméni would have stayed because he's not going to rely on Valverde in that position because Tchouaméni is more of a defender than Valverde. Valverde is more of a box-to-box player. So selling Tchouaméni would be catastrophic. Catastrophic, bro. It just cannot happen. It just cannot happen. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact remains this, right? You cannot sell Tchouaméni. And Mourinho has confirmed that. And Fabrizio has confirmed that Tchouaméni is not going anywhere. It's massive. Having Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Camavinga, Bernardo Silva, and potentially another center back, it gives Mourinho tactical flexibility. That's the way I see it. I mean, Tchouaméni provides a lot of things for this team. I mean, physicality, defensive protection, aerial presence, ability to play as a 6 as well. Let's not forget, this guy could actually play. As a center back as well. He can play as a center back as well. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to understand that. Adventure, please stop. All right, I need to, hold on a second. Stop doing that. You will be timed out. How many people think Tchouaméni should stay? How many people think we should sell him? Get in the chat. Amiro says sell him. I completely disagree with you. Pranav says if we had Modric in our midfield would be great. Yeah, it would be great, but we don't have Modric. That's the problem. We don't have Modric. That's the problem. Khedira is now the assistant coach. Yes, Khedira is actually the assistant coach right now. How many people stay? How many people are saying stay? All right. I see a lot of stay. I see sell. Cristiano saying sell. Wow, I can't believe it. I honestly cannot believe it. Some people are saying sell. So let me ask you this. Those of you are saying sell Camavinga. I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to understand your perspective. Like, this is a show for everybody. It's not just my show, right? It's not just my show. But I want to understand something, right? How do you say sell Tchouaméni? We don't have Rodri. Who you are trying to play in that pivot? Who you going to play in the pivot if you're selling Tchouaméni? Who you're paying? Denzel, pick up for the gifts. Love, appreciate it. Loan him out. He's not at that age to be loaned out. He's not in the age to be loaned out. Let's get one thing clear. He's not at the age to be loaned out. Jude Bellingham? Nah. Valverde or Bellingham? I disagree with you guys. Valverde is not a holding midfielder. He's not a holding midfielder. Yes, I know in the friendly against Frank Rovers or whatever, he's played as a CDM next to Camavinga. And I thought he did okay, but that's not really his position. Would you actually put Valverde against the likes of Paris Saint-Germain? You wouldn't, right? Against Barcelona, you wouldn't. Even against Atletico Madrid or any other big team, you would not do that. Trade Valverde for Kobe Mainoo. That's an interesting one. But Mainoo ain't for sale, though. Kobe Mainoo's not for sale. He's not for sale. Valverde and Bellingham and Goulart up front, says De Bruto. KG, I think many might say Bernardo Silva. Look, Bernardo Silva. We already talked about Bernardo Silva playing in that position. We talked about that already. But Bernardo Silva can't cover that position. He can cover that position here and there, but he won't be covering that position week in, week out. I'm not even sure if Bernardo Silva could actually play back to back. I don't think he could do that. I don't think he could do that. But does Tchouaméni start in the strongest Real Madrid starting lineup next year? Yes or no? Get your comments in. Get your comments in. But I want to move on now. I had something here. Let me see. I want to move on and talk about this right now, bro. Let's talk about this team, people. I'm excited. How many people are excited with this front three? How many people are excited with this front three? Kylian Mbappé, Vinicius Jr., Yan Diomande. We've got speed. This is one-on-one ability. This is direct football. And look, it is going to be an incredible front three, chat. It is going to be an incredible front three. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really, really excited. If you're excited with this front three, make sure you smash a like, because I'm super excited to see this front three work out. I know Kylian Mbappé and Vinicius Jr. didn't really work out in the past 2 seasons. But now, this season, Mourinho has got to find a solution. Vinicius Jr., of course, he struggled in the friendly game, but he just came back from vacation. So we can't really put too much on that. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter try to criticize Vinicius Jr. like, yo, Vinicius Jr. stunk up the place. Vinicius Jr. can't dribble. Vinicius Jr. is struggling. No, it's just one game. It's just one game. Let him get up to speed, right? Let him get 2, 3, 4 weeks of training, and I think he's going to be ready for La Liga at the start of the season. But this front three, I'm absolutely convinced it is going to cook. It is absolutely going to cook. And for the first time, this Madrid team has got some sort of balance in that front three. We never really had a right wing player, and Diomande, I think he's going to cover, and he's going to give us that. We already know what Kylian Mbappé offers, right? Goals, movement, explosiveness, transition threat, counterattack, ability to decide games individually on his own. That's what Kylian Mbappé gives us. Vinicius Jr., on his day, one of the best 1v1 attackers in football. Yes, one of the best attackers 1v1. I mean, on the left-hand side, I think he's the best. On the right, you could say maybe Lamine Yamal. But on the left, I think he's the best. If he's one of the best, if not the best, left-wing player in the game right now. Elite acceleration. He can destroy any defender. Any defender 1v1, he will put you on the floor. And he creates chaos. He creates a lot of situations. He creates a lot of chances. And the only thing that Vinicius Jr. has to work on is his finishing, right? When he gets to the final third, sometimes he makes mistakes. Dribbling wise, he's really good. But the problem is, as soon as he gets into like a decent position to score or pass, he makes the wrong choice. But then sometimes his shots are not that good. But that's the only thing he's got to work on. And I think Mourinho could put him on another level. I think Mourinho's going to put him on another level. And the same for Kylian Mbappé as well. He is definitely going to put him on another level. But the last one is Yan Diomande, which everybody is excited about. I mean, some people are saying, before I move on to Yan Diomande, everybody's saying that Kvaratskhelia is better than Vini. It's debatable, but I still think Vini is bigger. I still think Vini is bigger, bro. I'll be honest with you. I still think Vini is bigger, bro. Wait, give me a second. Okay. Craig, big up for the dono. He says, we have speed up front, but we won't have the ball, he says. That's a good point. The front three is going to take care of a lot of things. W for the dono, by the way. I appreciate it, Craig. The front three is going to take care of everything that happens in the final third. That's why we've been crying about missing out on Rodri. That's why we've been crying about somebody that could hold on to the possession and somehow have some sort of control. But Bernardo Silva is there to provide that. Can he play it week in, week out? No. Arda Güler could do that as well. Mourinho apparently used Arda Güler as sort of that deeper role as well in that preseason. He did interchange Bernardo Silva and Arda Güler. I've read an article about that. I didn't really notice it in the game, But there was an article talking about that. So I don't know what the idea is for Jose Mourinho, what his plan is. Is he planning to use somebody like Bellingham next to Tchouaméni? Is he planning to use Camavinga and Tchouaméni? Is he planning to use Valverde in that position or Bernardo Silva in that position? We're still waiting to see what's going to happen. But once we find a solution in the middle of the park, this front three is going to be absolutely deadly. Name me another better front three than this three. I'll wait. I mean, BBC was exceptional. We all know the BBC was fire. I don't think these three are going to bring the BBC numbers. They're not going to bring the BBC numbers. But what I'm asking is, name me another front three in Europe right now that is better than this one. I'll wait. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué. All right, let's talk about it. Okay? Let's talk about it. Is Dembele better than Kylian Mbappé? No, he's not. Right? He's not. Is Kvaratskhelia better than Vinicius Jr.? No, he is not. Is Doué better than Diomande? Yes, maybe because we've seen something from Doué. We haven't yet seen a lot from Diomande. So all of a sudden, when you talk about that front three, we're better than PSG. We're better than PSG, bro. Okay, another one. Kane, Olise, Diaz. Let's talk about it. Diaz versus Vinicius Jr. Who's better? Vinicius Jr. Olise versus Diomande. Olise is better. Kane versus Kylian Mbappé. It's obvious. Kylian Mbappé. Again, we're better than Bayern Munich. I just proved it. I'm telling you, there is not a better front three than the front three we have. There is not a better front three than the front three we have. And we're not even talking about Bellingham. We're not even talking about Arraguler. You understand what I'm saying? We're not even talking about the other guys that can actually potentially be used in that front four. So I'm telling you right now, this front three is absolutely going to cook. Somebody said Cunha, Mbemo, and Ahmad. No, thank you, man. Come on, bro. Be realistic. Is Mbemo better than Mbappe? Is Cunha better than Vini? And is Ahmad better than Diomande? He's not. Ahmad was on the bench for Diomande. If you haven't seen the World Cup, Ahmad Diallo was on the bench in the World Cup for Ivory Coast, and Diomande was starting games. So you can argue Diomande is better than Ahmad. At least based on the international manager of Ivory Coast. Vini is bigger in history, but Cavaradona is the best right now. I disagree. I mean, it's okay to disagree. We could all disagree here. Ronald, big up yourself. Get your thoughts in. Ronald, I remember you, bro. Kane is better. Under the radar, Semenyo, Doku, and Haaland. Haaland versus Mbappe. Who's better? Mbappe. Doku versus Vini. Semenyo versus Diomande. How much Semenyo cost? Semenyo did not cost 140. Semenyo cost how much? 70 to 80 M's? As far as I'm understanding. So you can bring me any team. We're better, bro. We are better. The only question is somebody that brought up earlier, right? The question somebody brought up earlier. The question he brought up is that, yes, we've got the best front three, but the problem we have is getting the ball to them. Just like France, if you look at the game, having a front three alone, it might not be enough. If you look at the France versus Spain game, that front four of France just could not get the ball. They could not get the ball. They had Dembele, they had Mbappe, they had Olise, they had Doué. They cannot get the ball. They had Barcola as well. They cannot get the ball. You understand? That's how France died in that World Cup semifinal. Okay? That's how they died. So that's the only concern I have. That's why I've been crying on this show. We need another CDM. We need another CDM. We need another CDM. That's why I've been begging. We need another CDM because the front three is elite, but it could be stopped by the midfield. Okay? It could be stopped. If you can't get the ball, you can't hurt opponents. And France cannot hurt Spain because Spain had Rodri, Ruiz, Dani Olmo just controlling everything. They couldn't. So that's my concern. Cray says, big up for the dono. W's for Cray. W's for Craig again. Legend. Absolute legend. He says, our front three looks good on paper. Football is played on the pitch. We cannot say that our front three is the best. Diomande is unproven. Diomande is slightly proven in the World Cup, though. We've seen what he could do in the World Cup. Let's be real. We've seen what he could do in the World Cup. Yes, he hasn't been proven an entire season. I get your point. But we've seen what he can do. We have seen what he can do in 5, 6, 7, 8 games, right? Che Jr. is better than Cavaradona, says VRX. France was, midfield was exposed that day. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. That's exactly what I was talking about, right? Morgan Rogers, Joao Pedro, and Cole Palmer. Yo, Quan. Mamma mia. Morgan Rogers, Joao Pedro, Cole Palmer. You comparing that 3 to this 3? You need help. You absolutely need help, bro. If that's what you're thinking, you need help. And somebody said, Gordon, Adieme, Yamal. Are you mad, bro? Are you mad, bro? That front three. You think that front three could compete with this 3? Man, these Barcelona fans are deluded, man. They are absolutely on cuckoo land. On cuckoo land. Whatever you having, I want to have it too, bro. Whatever you having, I want to have it too, because you're in another universe. You went to the moon, bro. You went to the moon. Doku, Haaland, Semenyo. Look, I talked about that already. Right? I just explained how this 3 is better than Doku, Haaland, and Semenyo. You could disagree. It's up to you. It's up to you to disagree. Denzel says Gordon, Adieme, Yamal. That's a joke. That's a joke. Look, I'll tell you one thing, though. Barcelona fans, I'll tell you one thing. If Barcelona get Alvarez, all of a sudden I'll be scared. If Barcelona get Alvarez, I repeat, if they get Alvarez, all of a sudden you're talking about Rafinha, Alvarez, Yamal, all of a sudden I'll be like, okay, that is very competitive, given the circumstance that in the middle of the park, Barcelona have Pedri, Rodri, Dani Olmo. That scares me. That scares me. Yes, I still believe in my team, but at least you can come out and say that front 3 is better. You can say that. You can say that. But without Alvarez, you don't even have Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres is leaving. Ferran Torres looks like he's leaving. So you don't even have a center forward right now, Barcelona. So to say that your front 3 is better is delusional. But if you get Alvarez from Atletico Madrid, which I highly doubt is going to happen, if you can get that, then I'll be concerned. But right now, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about Barcelona at all. At all. No way Chelsea Unk is better than the front 3, says VRX. IB says Rodri is going to control the tempo. Yes, Rodri is going to help Barcelona control the tempo, which is why we need another CDM, which is why we need Zubimendi. We talked about Zubimendi yesterday. Chat. NX says, with unity, we could be the best in Europe, but if there's no unity in our squad on the pitch, we won't win anything, even if we have the top 3 in the world. That's fact. Cray says, with our center back, Adieme and Gordon, we're like Diego Maradona, R9, and Pele. If don't spam, please don't spam, chat. I don't want to time you out. Joseph says, if the defense will beat Chelsea front 3, I don't get it. So which defense? I prefer Adra behind Mbappé. Me too. Divine. Me too. I think it's going to give us more balance. But I want to ask this. I want to ask the chat what y'all think about Arda Güler and Bellingham. I think we need to discuss that before we wrap up today's show. I think it's a very, very interesting topic. But I saw how Arda Güler performed yesterday. I mean, in the last game. He was exceptional. I know it's preseason. I'm not trying to get excited about it. But it is something to discuss. So we've seen some good performances from Arda Güler. But what's going to happen with Arda Güler or Bellingham? Does anybody understand? Does anybody know? Like, I'm still puzzled what José Mourinho is going to do. Because I've said it all along. Even before Mourinho came, Bellingham and Arda Güler, they can't play together. So who's going to be that number 10 is my question. Is it going to be Bellingham? Is it going to be Arda Güler? And some people are saying in the chat that rotate them. Some people are saying in the chat that, switch them up every game. Are they going to accept that kind of role? Are they actually going to accept that kind of role? Alman, big up yourself. Cray says Mbappe's production is better with Arda behind him rather than Jude. Mbappe and Jude are still stuck having a battle of... I agree with you. I agree with you, Cray. I agree with you 100%. 100%. It's a good problem to have. Says Nico. It is a good problem to have. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining, bro. Like, it is a very, very good problem to have. It is a very, very good problem to have. Alman, appreciate the dono. Big up. What's good? What's good, bro? What's good? Get your thoughts in the comments. What you feel about the situation we're discussing. And we got to wrap up soon. He was good in England in the 10th position. That's what I'm saying. Aziza, that's absolutely what I'm talking about. Like, Jude Bellingham was exceptional in that 10 role for England. One of the best players for England. So, Arda Güler is also good in that position. So, Mourinho's got a big problem. He's got a big problem in terms of what he's going to do in that number 10 role. Yes, the front three is going to be this front three. But that that CAM, that number 10 role is going to be really tricky. Unless Mourinho's planning to play a 4-3-3, where you have Tchouaméni in the CDM, and then you can have Bellingham and Arda Güler in front of Tchouaméni, and then you have a front three. That would be a really, really risky lineup. He could possibly do that. Absolutely, he could possibly do that. But I doubt Mourinho's going to do that in a lot of games. I expect he ain't gonna do that. Defenders of Real Madrid can beat this front three. No way. No way. I disagree, Yos. And please don't spam. Put Bellingham as CM, possible. Give me your formation. Give me your formation, Yosef. I keep telling you not to spam like that. I don't know. 4-1-2-3. That could work. You got the 4 defenders. You got 1 holding and then 2. That's also really attacking AR. That is really, really attacking. That is really, really attacking. URKG, Cray, and Denzel and me. How much you want? What do you mean how much you want? 4-2-3-1 says Cristiano. Possible again. I want to understand who's going to be in that 3. Who's going to be in that 3? This is Jose, so it'll be a 4-2-3-1 with Mourinho. We are not playing a 4-3-3. I agree with that. I agree with that because usually, if you look at Mourinho, usually what Mourinho has done in the past is he basically pretty much played us in a 4-2-3-1. Mostly he prefers to play that position. I mean, that formation. So I expect us to continue the same way. I don't see us playing a 4-2-4. I don't see us playing a 4-1-2-3. I don't see us doing none of that. I think it's going to be pretty much a 4-2-3-1. And this preseason has shown us all the games that we have played, we're pretty much playing a 4-2-3-1 setup. So it's clear that what Mourinho wants. Most of the games he's going to do that. In certain games, I've seen Jose Mourinho switch to a 4-3-3, which is going to be interesting. But I'm excited, bro. I'm really, really excited. How many people are excited that the season is about to start? I'm really, really, really excited. Really, really, really excited. I can't wait. I can't wait Vini, Mbappé, and Diomande to cook. I can't wait to see Arda Güler lighting up the Santiago Bernabéu. The next Ozil, he's going to become that Bellingham. Jude Darude also is going to be a key player for Real Madrid. There's a lot of positive, chat. There's a lot of positive. Of course, there are some negatives in terms of losing out on Rodri. But that's the only negative. All we need is 2 positions. Remember, left-footed centre-back and somebody like Tchouaméni. And we are set for the season. I'm talking about going all the way in the Champions League. I'm talking about winning La Liga. I'm talking about coming after, going after, and slapping everybody. These are the 2 positions that we need to fill in. If we can do that, I can promise you, we are going to have one of the best seasons ever, bro. Seriously, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Call me deluded, but that's how I feel. If Tchouaméni starts, we need Stella. If Valverde starts, we need Tchouaméni. Interesting, but we're not going to get Tchouaméni and Stella, though. We ain't getting that. We ain't getting that. Obviously, we're not going to be getting that, right? Just don't let Arsenal, City, and PSG to win the Champions League, says Squad. That's not going to happen. We won't let that happen. We won't let that happen. Denzel, big up for the gift. A 4-2-4 is impossible. Again, Cristiano, I discussed it already. It's impossible. Mourinho usually doesn't play with that setup. He doesn't. Dion says 3-5-2. 3-5-2 is possible. 3-5-2 is possible. I've seen certain games that Mourinho go with a back three. That is possible. But that's not something we're going to be using in every game. Mourinho could definitely do that in certain situations, but he ain't going to be doing it regularly. Regularly, the setup is going to be 4-2-3-1. But 3-5-2 is an option, and which goes back to my point about Bastoni. If we can get somebody like Bastoni, he could also help us in that back three as well. He could be the left-footed, the third center back on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, you can have Rudiger or Militao or Dean Housen. And then in the middle, you have Militao, Kanate. It gives us options. If we can get Bastoni in that position, it gives us a lot of options. A lot of options. Just make sure we're playing with three up top. Javi, absolutely. I spoke about it already. That is going to be the front three, bro. It's a boom. It is going to be a boom. That is going to be the front three, bro. That is going to be the front three. We're excited. Everybody's excited, bro. Everybody's excited. By the way, if you want to be a member, click on the link right now and become a member today and light up in the chat. Light up in the chat. You get priorities in the chat as well, right? Right? If we get Bastoni and Zubimendi, our treble contenders, yes, we're going for every trophy. We're going. I mean, call me deluded. I know most Barcelona fans or other fans might think that we're deluded, but that's how I feel, bro. That's how I feel. I honestly believe, bro. I honestly believe, chat. I honestly believe that we can go for every single damn trophy. Every single damn trophy. If we get Bastoni and Zubimendi. That's the way I see it. NX says we need trophies. Yes, we do need trophies. 2 years in a row not winning a trophy is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. We definitely need to sign a couple of players, and this summer is not done yet, chat. It's not done. And according to reports, yes, Madrid are saying they're not going to go hard, but they're also saying that they're not going to say that the transfer window is done. So we still have options. We still have options. Cristiano's going with a 3-4-3. We won the Super Cup. I don't really count the Super Cup though, Aziza. I don't count the Super Cup. We didn't win the Copa del Rey. We didn't win the La Liga. We did not win the Champions League. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Super Cup. I don't know. I don't know if that excites me. I don't know if that excites me. Get out, big up yourself. Chen Jr. is going to cook with a new chin, bro. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, bro. I've had a bad feeling that Diomande will be a flop. Pressure of playing for Real Madrid, plus the price tag, plus the fan being upset about prioritizing him over a midfielder and center back. Interesting point. We discussed that last time on yesterday's show as well, Craig. We did talk about that on the yesterday's show, but I still believe Diomande will come good. I think he's going to come good. Bastoni was a past Barca targeted, so revenge for Rodri. That'll be good. That's another revenge, right? I mean, right now they're not really going after him. I mean, if we can't get Bastoni, can we get Laporte? Like somebody that is left-footed that can play in that center-back position. I think we have a lot of options. Madrid should not close out the transfer window. There's a lot of options that we could definitely fill in. There's a lot of players, alternatives to Rodri. I did a show yesterday about Wharton, Zubimendi, and Kenneth Smith or Angelo Stiller. We have alternatives. Go get one of them. I don't care. Go get one of them. We need bodies in that CDM position. And then in the center-back department, Bastoni is available. Laporte is available. Left-footed center-back. There are others as well. Go and get another left center-back in. And the team is going to be complete. The team is going to be complete. But that's what I'm looking at, chat. That's what I'm looking at. PK says, I have a point, KG. I think Diomande played as a right end before. Maybe, yes, similar to the wing, but many are saying that it might be tricky for him to adapt to a right wing. Look, he played a lot of games on the right wing. I think he's similar to Semenyo. Semenyo can play on the left and on the right, but he's right-footed. Diomande seems to be a right-footed player. He's a right-footed player, but he's really, really good on his left. In fact, he scored more goals on his left foot than on his right last season. So that tells me that he could definitely play that role. And as a backup to that, we have Endrick. Endrick could cover that position. Absolutely could cover that position, right? So anyways, we should get Laporte, Bastoni, and Zubimendi. If we get these dudes, we are good for the league and the Champions League. Fact. Not and Bastoni or Laporte. I mean, Laporte or Bastoni. That's what we're saying. Or. We're saying or. He'll be under the microscope from day one. He will not be given the luxury of sitting in, and he's 19, so I hope to be wrong, but I have a bad feeling, says Cray. Xavi says, I agree with that. I think he's going to want a left wing in a couple of years when things get tough. Ross says, we ain't going to let Rodri slide. We need a revenge. Yes. Any news regards to Endrick? In regards to Endrick, what we heard is that he will be staying. Mourinho wants him to stay. Endrick is also wanting to stay. They have given him the number 9. They have given him the number 9, by the way. I mean, the squad numbers are out, by the way, chat. The squad numbers are out. I did want to bring it in. I forgot to bring it in. The squad numbers are out. And before we wrap up, I'm actually going to show you guys this. This is what it looks like, chat. This is what it looks like. The squad numbers are out. Endrick is number 9. Hauser is number 4. Asencio is number 2. Karate is number 16. Kokorea is 17. SP is 19. Bernardo Silva is 20. Dumfries is 24. And Diomande is 25. Yes, there you have it. There you have it. And so, Endrick, I feel like he's going to stay. I'm glad he brought up that. Look at ISO speed on my screen. What's he doing? What's he doing? He's looking at me like this. What is ISO speed doing, bro? Anyways, look, that's what it is. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the numbers? Let me know. What do you think about the numbers? Let me know. As always, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Later on today, we might go live again. If there's any sort of update, if there's some sort of update going on, I will definitely go live. So in the afternoon, just be on the lookout. Turn on all the notifications, and we could definitely go live. All right. But big up to every single one of you. Smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. So we out. We out, baby. Let me know. And join our Discord. The best community ever. Join the Discord out at the description. I mean, the link is in the description. You can click on that and join. We talk about Barca. We talk about the Premier League. We talk about Real Madrid as well. So there's a lot to talk about. But AR, Quan, Ganal, Cray, PK, every single one of you, man. Every single one of you. Let me know in the chat, though. Let me know in the chat. What would you prioritize? Would you prioritize Bastoni? Would you prioritize Zubimendi? Pick one or pick one. Pick one. Don't say both. Pick one and let me know why you would want or you would prioritize that position over the other position, right? Let me know in the comments. Thank y'all so much. I'll see you guys later on. All right. I'm out. Peace.